Thanks for staying with us. The Country Nigerian of Nigerian Customs Service speaks on NIJ award given to him. Also on customs support, while we units of Nigerian Customs Service continue to seize consignments not approved to leave the country, which are jerrycans of petroleum products. Plus more report. I am Egisemedie. Stay tuned. The Nigerian Institute of Journalism has awarded the Country Nigerian of Customs a fellowship award for a job well done. In the speech, he thanked the Institute for honoring him and also members of the management.
The Comptroller General of Customs, Nigeria Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, has emphasized the urgent need for coordinated global responses to emerging security threats. Adeniyi stated these while speaking on police-private security dialogue on cross-border crime and transnational networks at the 19th Defense Services Asia Exhibition and Conference, DSA, in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The session, convened under the Asia Pacific Security Association Malaysia International Security Summit, AMIST, brought together security leaders from 14 countries across Asia and the Pacific. Adewale said, and I quote, "The nature of crime has evolved beyond borders, requiring enforcement agencies to move from isolated responses to coordinated global action. Collaboration is no longer optional. It is the foundation of effective security." End of quote. He highlighted the growing sophistication of transnational criminal networks, noting that activities such as narcotics trafficking, wildlife crime, financial fraud, and terrorism financing are increasingly interconnected. According to him, enforcement strategies must reflect this reality through intelligence sharing and joint operations. The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, received a fellowship award from the Nigeria Institute of Journalism in recognition of his professional achievements and contributions to national development. A special convocation ceremony was held to mark their investiture, underscoring the significance of the honor. Perhaps it couldn't have happened for less. Obviously, for a man of letters, a public relations expert, a communicator par excellence, an indefatigable administrator, and a mobile communication encyclopedia, all rolled into one. Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, PhD, was deserving of the honor by every measure. He has always cherished his professional background as a communicator and consistently sought to support fellow media practitioners in building capacity.
I feel so inspired. I feel so delighted for a number of reasons. First, the recognition is a very big honor for me. And it's also a personal challenge for me to continue to do what we do, to ensure that we build the capacity of this generation of journalists and communication professionals. What we are trying to do is to draw attention to the fact that there are capacity gaps in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the learning facilities that are here. And what we have done today has provided me an opportunity to come and say thank you to NIJ, this institution that has contributed to my professional development, and find an opportunity to reinvest back into the institution. When we were here almost 40 years ago, it is regrettable that nothing much has changed in terms of the learning environment. And things are changing now. This magnificent hall donated by Sir Kesintin was there, helping students to improve their learning condition. We're also trying to put up something, to bring, multimedia environment to our journalists. So I only task them to take the best, make the best use of the facilities that have been provided by alumni, and challenge them that they should also approach life with determination, so that they will also come back one day and give back to the institution that has helped to build them.
You are watching the program Customs Report.
in line with the policy that trust of the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, PhD, MFR, PSc, DAGA, I have undertaken strategic consultation and engagement with relevant stakeholders. Let me reiterate that export remains critical to the Nigerian economy. It promotes foreign exchange earnings, drives economic diversification, and contributes significantly to gross domestic products, that's GDP growth. While crude oil remains dominant, non-exports comprising agricultural produce, solid minerals, and manufactured goods are vital for mitigating external shocks, creating employment, and establishing the national currency, that is the Naira. Under my leadership and in strict compliance with the directive of the Comptroller General of Customs, the Lillipond Export Command has continued to implement measures aimed at enhancing export trade facilitation within our area of responsibility. The command is actively advancing the deployment of the national single window platform, with officers being adequately prepared for seamless implementation of a unified export documentation system in due course. This brief focuses on the first quarter of 2026 with a comparative analysis against the corresponding period in the whole year 2025 to assess the level of progress made so far. Now, I am pleased to report that the Lillipond Export Command processed export value at $925,844,469.84 in the first quarter of 2026, and this represents a growth of 38.68% over the previous year, which was $667,597,082.65 has been recorded in the first quarter of last year. So monthly performance within the quarter showed mixed trends. That is, in January 2026, export declined by 1.12%, amounting to $267,660,000 compared to $260,700,000 in January 2025. So let's move to February. February 2026 recorded an increase of 12.43%, rising from $225,130,000 to $233,120,000.
The coordinator of Operation Whirlwind of the Nigerian Customs Service and his team has seized jerrycans of petroleum about to be smuggled outside the country.
Since he mounted the saddle, the national coordinator of Operation Whirlwind, Deputy Comptroller Abubakar Aliyu, has kept no one in doubt that his team could truly be an agent at disrupting smuggling syndicates in the country. In the past few months, he and his team have proved their mettle, traversing Lagos, Calabar, Niger, Kwara, Kano, and the entire Northeast, showcasing their feats in real time. Indeed, Aliyu can be described as well fitted into the shoes left by the pioneer national coordinator of the team, retired Assistant Comptroller General H.K. Ejibunu. Aliyu and his commander in Yola, Deputy Comptroller Ali, did not disappoint. In what has become their trademark, no less than 93.3 million naira worth of petroleum products were seized in the last 6 weeks in the Zone D axis. Following intelligence-driven operations, the coordinator disclosed to newsmen that 47 seizures were recorded from different locations at different times within Adamawa State.
Some people thought you cannot finish in good time PhD degree from University of Abuja. I came in 2021 and I concluded my external defense in 2025. So the learning environment is very conducive. I've gained a lot from guidance, tutorship from both academic and non-academic staff. I have passed through different universities, almost 3 or 4, and I can say University of Abuja have stand different in terms of academic excellence, as well as even when it comes to character and other form of engagements. I started a PhD when I was deputy spokesperson of the Nigeria Customs Service. And in the course of the PhD, I became the spokesperson of Nigeria Customs Service. Now, combining those responsibilities, a critical agency that deals with revenue collection, national security, as well as trade facilitation, it's very difficult for you to combine that heinous, very difficult task with your academic activities. But I was able to strike a balance between the two. It's about time management, it's about commitment, it's about dedication, it's about resilience, and I was able to combine those two difficult tasks at the same time, and I was able to deliver with the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I would like to appreciate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me this opportunity, because He gave me this bounties for me to partake in these studies. Secondly, I would like to extend appreciation to members of the academic community and non-academic community, mostly from Department of Theatre Art. My former HOD, which is Dr. Roselyn Yashmin, she is a mother, and I can say it relentlessly. She worked hard for me to make sure that all of us, not me, we're almost so in numbers, different from different parts of Nigeria, to make sure that we deliver in good time. I want to sincerely appreciate her. Also, finally, my family also have played a very critical role, as well as friends, towards this success.
The Customs Officers' Wives Association, COA, Kirikiri Lighter Terminal, has intensified calls for environmental sustainability, urging residents and personnel within barracks communities to embrace green compliance through responsible daily practices to boost public health and end flooding. COA stated that while flooding incidents are often treated with levity, they pose serious risk to lives, property, and public health, adding that lasting solutions require a collective shift in attitude.
And I need to please, first of all, appreciate the National President of the Customs Officers Association, Mrs. Kikelo Madini, for this initiative, for this wonderful initiative. Also, I'd like to appreciate you all for turning up today to come and grace this wonderful location of the Green Borders Initiative. You know, I know you talked about pure water and the rest. There's also something that came to my mind, this disposable foam that they used to take away food. I think that's actually even more dangerous than the pure water these days. And all these sachet drinks that these people are taking up and down now. So we need to be conscious of our environment, because we need to be able to live a good environment for our kids. I was reading somewhere, and they said the objectives of the Green Border the campaign is to enhance environmental sustainability, improve the socio-economic well-being of our border communities, and create a waste to wealth initiative for women and youth. So I think we need to take this thing more seriously. It's actually something that we should take more seriously, like, you know, more than we should. So I just want to enjoin all of us to take the Green Border initiative more seriously, and then together we will make it a better Nigeria.
In Lagos, we see the effect of environmental issues every day. When it rains, flooding everywhere. We often laugh about it, but the truth is, many of those problems are caused by us. Improper waste disposed and blocked drainage system. That is why today, STEAM is Green Barracks, Green Border. It is so important to remind us that the change starts from where we live and work. As a member of the Nigerian Customs Service, we are known for discipline and responsibilities. These our values should also reflect in how we care for our environment.
Speaking during an environmental awareness program in Lagos, the COA chairperson, Omolabake Adigun, stressed that environmental challenges confronting the state, particularly flooding, are largely driven by human behavior, including improper waste disposal and blocked drainage systems.
Okay, so for the sustainability, we will make sure everyone would ensure that everyone would be reusing their plastic bottles. They would also make sure that we enforce everyone to trash their pure water nylons and papers. We enforce it. We are also providing for other commands. We're also providing waste bin, the iron bin also in every command, and would also tell them to enforce the sensitization.
A clean environment means good health. So first of all, let me thank the CGC's wife for this good initiative. If you have children, and when we have just children pick up these little things in the environment, and it can make them sick. So when we have a clean environment through this kind of initiative, we have good health, because the environment tells the kind of health you have. If it's a bad environment, then you might not be that healthy. So I think this Green Border sets a precedent, sets an example, because when we don't have too much waste around and the environment is clean, then we can always have good health. So I think that's the way it helps with the environment. Thank you.
The Customs Controller General has commended the effort of the Nigerian government alongside members of staffs for the newly commissioned FOU headquarters in Ogun State. He was speaking with journalists after the president visited the new site and commissioned the program officially by his government.
Well, basically what led to this is the need for us to balance the discharge of our mandates, the basic mandates, revenue generation, trade facilitation and enforcement, with the need to enhance the welfare of our officers, produce a good working environment for them, and do something about training facilities in Lagos. So you know that all of the facilities that we are moving here are concentrated in just one small space in Ikeja. When we joined the service over 30 years ago, this was a very big place. It was a very big place for us. It was enough to accommodate all of those activities. But over the years, the operations of the service, the size of the service, the scope of our mandate have really expanded, and we needed a bigger space that is more conducive. And we're happy that we found in His Excellency Governor Dapo Abiodun the partnership that ensured that we got enough space to move all those bases to this place. So we are indeed very grateful to him. I must also pay glowing tribute to my predecessor, who actually started this project. It was his doggedness that ensured that we got the land, over 50 hectares, that we are using for this. So we've just commissioned the Federal Operations Unit. They will be moving here as soon as possible. It's already been furnished. I don't know if some of you entered. The accessories that would ensure the proper functioning of the facilities are also being done. Provision of a modern armory. And then, of course, you know that this is the warehouse directly opposite this facility. This warehouse will also support the warehouse at the nearby aviation village. Of course, you also know that we have the training college that is also being here. So it is in fulfillment of our mandates. Our operations are increasing, and we needed more space that is comfortable and that's convenient for all of us.
Taking over from Comptroller Godwin Otola in the roughly 4 months since then, the command under Afeni's leadership has recorded notable gains in revenue generation, anti-smuggling enforcement, trade facilitation, and stakeholder relations, primarily through intelligence-driven operations, strategic patrols, and inter-agency community collaboration. On revenue generation, the command generated and remitted 454.67 million naira in 2025, a 40% increase over 275.84 million naira in 2024. In the first 28 days of January 2026, revenue reached 106.28 million naira. That's an 84.3% increase over the same period. On anti-smuggling operations and seizures, Afeni's tenure has emphasized disrupting smuggling syndicates along the border corridors, including Imeko and Ipokia access, with a focus on narcotics, prohibited imports, and illegal mineral exports. Narcotics were handed over to the NDLEA. Illegal mica stones, 285 sacks valued at 104.7 million naira, transferred to the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development to curb illicit mineral exports.
The former controller in charge of Cargo, who just retired from the service, has thanked the management of Nigerian Customs Service and also the Nigerian government for giving him extension to serve the service. He speaks more on a number of issues.
The former area comptroller in charge of Muritala Mohammed Airport Command, Michael Awe, has officially left the office after serving the customs for more than 30 years. Retired Comptroller Awe, who hails from Osun State, is happily married with 4 children. While in service, he generated billions of naira into the coffers of the government. He and his men also led the seizures of contraband goods worth billions of naira. Retired Comptroller Awe served in various units of customs. They include CIU, valuation, and special assignments, where he set records and also earned recognition from other past CGs of customs. While at his command, he built and completed a sports complex which was declared open by the Comptroller General of Customs. At the Sanford party organized for him by friends, the retired comptroller was commended for a job well done while in service.
Going to, just like I said, I'm going to dedicate it to the Almighty God, so we're going to call this thing on God's name. G-O-D.
I couldn't believe it, but I have to appreciate Jehovah God. Because he's the omnipresent, he's the one that knows the hand from beginning. I appreciated him. In fact, during the thick and thin, he has always been there for me. You know, in fact, I just have to appreciate him. Because without him, I wouldn't have been standing. Because he assisted me. I enjoy his mercy, I enjoy his grace, I enjoy his honor. And I have to appreciate my boss, CGC Adewale Bashir. He has been so awesome. He's a manager. He's somebody that believes in hard work. I quite believe it's because of the hard work that I was able to secure the extension through his recommendation to the president. He's a manager, he's a man of honor, and I appreciated them. And I have to thank all my officers, MMAC, without their cooperation, I wouldn't have achieved that milestone, because I was able to make a difference in the area of revenue and enforcement. It's due to our cooperation and God's guidance. By the grace of God, under the administration of CGC Wale Adeniyi, custom will go, they will go places, they will go higher because of lot of the policies being put in place, and I quite believe it's going to yield positive results in the near future. Our customs will go higher.
Just before I round up this week edition of the program, we brought you reports where the management of Nigerian Customs Service has thanked Mr. President for the official commissioning of the FOU headquarters and other buildings in Ogun State. For me, it is 70 here. Thanks for watching.